So when I was in high school, I created a sticky note with my dreams. Actually, what I want to accomplish in this life. But I completely forgot about it. And this year, in around March, I went home. I want to spend some time home with my family because I had quite a tough beginning of the year. So I wanted to recover a little bit, breathe a little bit, relax a little bit. And I went to this old house where I used to live with my family, and I found a sticky note on the wall saying, first, I want to marry Zayn from One Direction. Yeah, priorities. But then the second one was, I want to build a hospital.
Hmm.
The funny thing is, I completely forgot about that.
Hmm.
And in April, end of March, beginning of April, I had an appendix surgery where they found out that some of my health challenges are actually advancing that I had from before and stuff. I tried hormones for like a decade. My condition got worse and worse. And it never helped. Like this hormones which affect your body, your lifestyle, who you are, even the partner you want in your life. Yeah, just made me be very confused about many things in my life. And during that time in the hospital when I was very, very nauseous, so I couldn't spend time on devices, I couldn't read, I couldn't do anything more than just staring at a white ceiling for literally 4 days. Real Something just came in my heart, and I knew that I need to build something in health. I knew that this is why I came here. And I knew that with my skills and with my vision and ambition and the network I have and my superpowers, this is what I want to live in the world. And a few days later, I found that sticky note talking about a hospital. And then 1 week or 2 weeks later, more and more people started to talk around me about alternative medicine and how we can bring that to the classic med. Like, this is insane. And basically, this is how also this year I prayed a lot, asking the universe, God, or however you want to call it, for clarity and for finding my purpose and for me letting go of control and surrendering to what I should do in this, what's my purpose for this life and so on. So things kind of came together very
Talk about
nicely.
coincidence. I mean, like, I don't believe in coincidence. If it happens once, yes. If it happens twice, that's not coincidence. You've got about four
Yeah.
instances of going, yes, let's go build this thing. What's the
Yeah,
vision
yeah.
here? Like,
Actually, can I?
go on, please.
Sorry, just a little interruption. So there's a quote I really love. I forgot if it's said by a French philosopher or a Romanian philosopher,
Hmm.
but the quote is, coincidence is God's way to stay anonymous.
I like it. There's someone playing here. There's someone. There's a hand involved in this
Yeah,
idea. So it makes it bigger than you are and
yeah,
allows you to dream bigger than you are. What does this look like? Physical
yeah.
stores? It's not. Is it a technology product? Is it something different? Is it a retreat that you end up going to? How do you? Is it something that's just off the grid entirely? No tech involved.
So eventually it's gonna look literally like a chain of clinics,
Uh huh.
actual buildings where you go and you get treated. I'm trying to not make it private because I want people to be treated no matter their social status or
Hmm.
background or financial situation. And that's why, as I told you, this is a very long term dream. I'm talking about maybe a decade here, correct? Unless I find the right partners before that. But until then, what I want to do is I want to help people more and more before I open
Hmm.
those clinics, right? So for sure, I'm going to start with some smaller initiatives, like, for example, posting content about um, health and how we can bridge the gap between classic and alternative medicine, interviewing people, interviewing founders about their health hacks, and so on, talking more about my experience with dealing with uncurable chronic disease, right? And I'm trying to. Actually, I'm not trying. I will heal it. I know it. I feel it. I'm on it. Correct. So I want to prove to people that it's not just what the doctor tells you and so on. And yeah, most probably I will start with some AI 7 AI chatbot to help you navigate the first symptoms because it takes quite some time to get a call back from your GP in the UK.
Yeah,
And
it
then
does.
I'm gonna probably start. Yeah, I was also thinking to maybe start a marketplace where people can find trusted alternative clinics before I start that myself and so on. Like, for example, DNA tests or whatever. A friend of mine just recommended a few days ago to do some DNA checks because apparently that tells you exactly what you should eat and you should not eat in this life based on how your DNA is programmed. I said, oh, that sounds very intriguing, but I'd like to try. And if it works for me, if it does a big difference in my life, I'd like to for more people to have access to that, because in your day-to-day life you don't know what you don't know. You don't know that maybe a DNA test would change your life, or maybe removing gluten would change your life. Or so I want to give more people access to all kinds of things and build up, right? So create a series of smaller businesses which have the potential to be big, but just to make this health ecosystem much more mainstream, to give more people the opportunity to have access to healthcare, especially alternative medicine, and then build up my way until I start a chain of clinics.
I like it.
Yeah.
Do you feel like down the line, this is something that the NHS will refer patients to?
So I don't think so, but that's not necessarily the point. So it depends on the country, correct? Because, for example, in the UK, NHS is very embedded in our lives, correct? But for example, in Romania, my family doctor has no idea if I had a surgery somewhere. Like, there's no such thing as the same system where they can find information about your, like, every entity is very independent from each other,
Disconnected.
even if it's private or public. Exactly, right? So it depends on the country. But here in the UK, my goal is to just close the gap, because what's happening right now is doctors completely dismiss alternative medicine, and people who are practitioners in different alternative medicine like Chinese medicine, Ayurvedic medicine, acupuncture, whatever, kind of dismiss the classic doctors unless it's an urgency. Right? So I'm just trying to create the trust between them before I start those clinics. So when I start that, people will be so used to treating humans from a much more comprehensive perspective, and not only treating the surface, but actually the actual root of what's going on.